I explained to my wealthy cousin why I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and it blew up our family for a month. My aunt hosted a big family brunch for my cousin Mark's promotion. Nice restaurant, linen tablecloths, the whole thing. Mark makes easily 3 times what I do. He works in finance, wears tailored suits, drives a car worth more than my annual salary. I'm a mid-level admin assistant, no glamour, no bonuses. I budget hard, track expenses, and save every month. Nothing fancy, just disciplined. At brunch, I ordered avocado toast with eggs and a side of fruit. Mark ordered steak and lobster eggs, Benedict, plus mimosas for the table. When the check came, he laughed and said, "I'll cover it. You probably need the help." He said it casually, like a joke, but his eyes lingered on my worn shoes. I smiled and said thanks, but my mom immediately jumped in. "She's actually doing very well for herself." Mark raised an eyebrow. "On that salary?" "Come on," his wife Lauren chimed in. "Some people are just better with money, I guess." Her tone suggested luck, not effort. That irritated me more than I expected. I've said no to trips, eaten leftovers for days, driven the same car for 10 years. Mark spends freely because he can. I spend carefully because I have to. I set my fork down and said, "I'm not comfortable because of luck. I live within my means. I don't upgrade my phone every year or lease cars I can't afford." The table went quiet. Mark laughed awkwardly. "Relax, it's not that deep." But Lauren's face tightened. She said, "That's easy to say when you don't have responsibilities." I hadn't planned to go further, but something snapped. "You both make a lot and spend a lot. That's fine. But income doesn't automatically equal security. Budgeting isn't magic. It's math." Lauren's eyes filled with tears. My aunt gasped like I'd sworn. Mark pushed his chair back and said, "Wow, so you think we're irresponsible." They stood up, left cash on the table, and walked out before dessert arrived. Afterward, my mom told me I was harsh. My sister said I should have just let it go. I felt bad about the tears, but not about the point. For weeks, Mark ignored me. Lauren blocked me on Instagram. Then my aunt called and asked me to come over. I expected a lecture. Instead, Mark was there alone, sitting at the kitchen table with unpaid bills spread out. He sighed and said, "Lauren's been obsessing over you." I blinked. "Me?" He nodded. "She checks your social media constantly, screenshots your posts about saving, meal planning, staying home. She says you're judging her just by existing." I was stunned. "I barely post," he went on. "She compares herself nonstop. Says everyone secretly thinks we're reckless." After brunch, she spiraled. Went through our finances line by line crying. That's when I pulled out screenshots. Messages of her asking me to lie to customers about return policies. Texts admitting she made up the hospital story. Even one where she bragged about leaving early to go to a concert. Carla's face just kept getting more shocked with every swipe. By the end of the meeting, Tessa was crying for real this time. Carla sent her home and told me to take the rest of the day off with pay. 2 days later, Tessa was no longer with the company, which is manager code for fired. The store has been weirdly peaceful since then. Turns out half the staff had their own stories about Tessa, throwing them under the bus. Customers are nicer, shifts feel shorter, and I don't dread seeing my schedule anymore. Yesterday, Carla asked if I wanted to train as shift lead since I've basically been doing it anyway. I said yes. Funny how the job didn't change at all, but removing one person made it feel like a completely different place.